Hi, my name is Mortada Ayad. I'm the Technical Regional Manager for Thycotic, covering emerging markets. Good question. What is a critical infrastructure? So a critical infrastructure is a set of systems or assets that are essential for an organization to guarantee their business continuity, right? So these assets can be many things. They can be point of sales for a retail company or an online website, for example. And we need to make sure that these systems are always operational and continue to work in the best way possible. Yeah, good question. So why is PAM needed for critical infrastructure? Maybe before we answer that, we should maybe try to understand what is PAM. So PAM is a solution that will allow you to protect those accounts, these critical accounts that have great control and great power over the systems that they are used to access, right? So why is PAM important to protect critical systems? It's because privileged accounts are everywhere, right? They're not only into servers or devices, they're also into applications. So these accounts are critical and they are used to access and manage the systems, right? So how do you secure critical infrastructure with PAM? So you need to first have your PAM strategy, which will define your guidelines and procedure around protecting those privileged accounts. Once you have that, you implement the PAM solution, which will allow you to store those accounts into a secure vault with high encryptions. And then you're going to control the access to these accounts by making sure that the people will only have access to the account that are relevant to them. For example, database administrator should only have access to database privilege account, for example. And then you're going to control what the users do with those accounts with very strong auditing. Everything that is done, every access to the system, every launch of a session, every change of configuration should be audited. And on top of the auditing, you have, of course, session monitoring, where you can actually see what the user has done over a video recording of their session. And the last part is the management of the password, where we want to make sure that the users will not have to define the password themselves, because, you know, we're all humans, right? If we define a password, we'll all use the same base of a password and then add a few digits at the end to make it different, and that is a risk, right? So by letting the system doing this, we remove that cyber fatigue from the shoulders of the administrator, and we're also taking control of the privileged accounts. The best practice of implementing a PAM solution will be to follow a phased approach, where first defining a PAM strategy on what you want to do with the solution, and then making sure that you start to onboard the maximum accounts as you can, and not being too restrictive at the beginning, because you want your users, which are the IT admin, a difficult population, to accept the tool, right? And that will be your critical threshold in the PAM project. Once you see that the user have accepted the tool, you start enforcing more control, like removing the ability to see the password, starting rotating the password more often, etc.